alongside Joe Fryer here in New York. We have breaking news out of Israel this morning where Hamas has launched a surprise attack within Israel's borders overnight. First, launching rockets from the Gaza Strip, then sending militants into the streets of the southern part of Israel. Hundreds of people have been injured. Several have been killed, but that number could be much higher. You are looking at live pictures there.
Let's go right to NBC's Raf Sanchez, who is in the south of Israel. Raf, good morning. What is the latest where you are?
Joe, Laura, good morning. Israelis woke up today to find their worst nightmares had come true in the form of a massive surprise attack by Palestinian militants from Gaza. As we speak, Palestinian gunmen are inside Israeli cities and towns, something we have never before seen on this scale, and they are fighting running gun battles against Israeli ground forces. Hamas, the major Palestinian militant group that controls Gaza, says they have taken Israelis hostage and they have taken them back inside of Gaza. Now, the Israeli military says this infiltration came by land, by sea, and by air in the form of Hamas gunmen on paragliders infiltrating into Israeli territory. And this was done under the cover of a barrage of more than 2,000 rockets fired in the early hours of this Shabbat morning. Guys, I wanted just to explain to you what the scene is where we are right now. We are on one of the major highways in southern Israel. You would expect this road to be full on a holiday weekend, and instead you can see behind me, this is an Israeli military checkpoint. Israeli forces here are searching all cars that are going past because they do not know at this point where these Palestinian gunmen are, and they are afraid these gunmen may try to be getting north towards Tel Aviv, towards Jerusalem. As we've been here, we have seen just a stream of Israeli special forces driving south towards the Gaza border, and they are heading to confront those gunmen in the towns and cities in the south.
Shit is popping off, fam. Shit is popping off. Critical solidarity to the Palestinian people right now. Critical solidarity, my friends. And the media coverage that we are seeing right now is exactly why I say the United States is the most propagandized country in the world. And it's not even close. Not even close. You have people that are both sizing this issue as if this is not a very simple to understand conflict. This is an issue of settler colonialism. You have a violent, genocidal state that was manufacturedly created by the West and being armed and supported by the West, who ethnically cleansed and committed a genocide on the Palestinian people in order to uphold their fraudulent society. Call them an apartheid state is being nice to what Israel is, because that legitimized Israel as a state. Israel is an illegitimate state. Israel is not real. Israel is filled with Europeans and Americans. When was the last time Israel had a Middle Eastern prime minister? Don't worry, I'll wait. Every single prime minister in Israel has been European, of European descent. They moved in and they used violence to force the Israeli people out. How the fuck can anyone have the position that Hamas or Palestine is acting in some sort of evil, in some sort of malice? These are facts, ladies and gentlemen, that I am about to tell you guys. According to the UN Charter, Palestine has the legal right to have an armed resistance against Israel. That's in the UN Charter. Israel has been out of compliance with international law for decades. Everything the Palestinian people are doing is legal under international law. What the Israeli government has been doing for years, and they got away with it because they have the bully of the United States backing them, is illegal. You guys understand? There's one side that is doing the legal, what I would consider the morally right action. There's it's nothing but morally right to fight against your colonizers and your oppressors, people who killed you and your family. Now, I won't condemn anyone who don't want to engage in violence, but it's nothing more morally righteous than protecting you, your family, and your bloodline, your culture, from violent, genocidal colonialists. And people say, "Oh my God, what about this? What about the civilians in Israel?" There are no Israeli citizens. All these people are European settler colonialists. You gave up your right to be a civilian when you decided to benefit from militaristic settler colonialism. Are we clear? You gave that up. You are willing to live in a society that is built on genocide, blood, and oppression. You're not a civilian at that point. Now, I will be clear because I'm sad to see everything that happened. I'm not happy to see people die. But everyone that is part of the Israeli settler colonial state are occupiers and complicit with the violence that the Palestinian people have been going through. Now, if you guys think I am extreme, you think I didn't come up with receipts today? These are the people that are the quote-unquote civilians I'm supposed to be crying about.
I think Israelis have to take over, and they have to kick them away. It will be much better not to kill them, just to go back to Arab countries.
But it's really rightfully ours if you look at the history and at like the wars, and we didn't even start a lot of the wars, and we conquered these places rightfully, like it's ours.
1,400 years later, we come back. Now, I'm not saying that we can.
That lady said we conquered these places, so it's ours. But I'm supposed to be sad for her and her family.
Blame the people living here for what happened, but you got to accept that that's some kind of divine justice, that their great-great-great-great-grandfathers kicked my great-great-great-grandfather out of here, and then we come back, and all of a sudden they're like, well, no, we don't want it, it's not fair.
I think that the Jews came here, they took this land, and this is our land now, and I don't think there should be here no Arabs. Like Arabs, they want, we gave them Gaza, they should go live there quietly. If they want, they should go back to Iraq, I don't know, to wherever they want.
I think that we need to...
She asked her friend, how do you say kick out the Arabs? I know I say that word wrong all the time, I apologize. How do you say kick out the Arabs?
I don't think there's any answer to it.
Really?
There's only one way, like I would carpet bomb them.
This Israeli citizen said the only solution to the Israeli-Palestine conflict is to carpet bomb them. So how does Israel get a extreme far-right government that commit genocide? Because they have a far-right insane populace that want to commit genocide against the Palestinian people. Now the Palestinian people finally punched these people in the mouth, and now they're crying about it. You gotta know RBN no goddamn pacifist. We fight our oppressors. We fight people like these people. And I will always have nothing but critical solidarity with the Palestinian people, the same people that had our back during the civil rights movement, the same people that put a mural of George Floyd in Gaza, the same people that show solidarity with the South African apartheid. We've been through the same struggle. People like this, these European scumbags, have been our historical enemy. And what the fuck does it make sense for me or anyone who's of a disenfranchised class, race, or peoples to advocate this bullshit pacifism against these scumbags? I want you guys to hear what this guy said again.
I don't think there's any answer to it.
Really?
There's only one way, like I would carpet bomb them.
You would carpet bomb them?
It's the only way you could deal with it. Like or try to stop them a different way.
Bernie Sanders is going to tell you that they're both sides of this issue, though. Both sides are bad. The entire PMC left right now All these progressives that said Palestine, all these people that make me sick are exposing themselves today because they're telling you that this person is equal to a Palestinian resistance fighter, someone who simply wants their fucking home. Unbelievable.
It never worked.
I think that we're miserable. The Arabs make a פיגועים and we need to kill Arabs.
Beyond parody. I want you guys to understand that Zionism is one of the most extreme ideologies in the world. Zionism does not conflate with Jewish heritage because there are a bunch of Zionists in my mentions coping because I'm calling these motherfuckers out on Twitter where they say, oh my God, look at Nick being an anti-Semite, calling out Jewish people. I am not calling out Jewish people. Jewish people are amazing people, including the many Jewish people that stand against Zionism. This is not a religious issue. Zionism, these people are disgusting and they deserve to be Palestine. Let me put it like this. Palestinians deserve to be liberated by these people by any means necessary. You guys want to hear this part again? Well, read it because she don't speak English that well.
Make a פיגועים and we need to kill Arabs.
We need to kill the Arabs.
No.
I think another thing that the Jews should have rights to hate them. I think we have the right to hate them. I don't see a reason why not. I wouldn't trust any of them.
אין מצב שיהיה פה שלום בארץ, אי אפשר לעשות איתם שלום, הם תמיד שונאים אותנו. אם אי אפשר לעשות שלום והמצב ככה לא יכול להישאר, אז צריך לטפל בהם בדרכים אחרות, אין מה לעשות.
I think we should give them a country. If you're doing any problem, you just go in there to give them a country, and then it's going to be a war between countries, you know? If they're going to throw rockets, we're going to throw one big one and done.
You think that's it? Now, I want to show you guys this because no one else in Western media is going to cover this. None of the progressive media is going to cover this, apparently. These are the enemy, fam. The same way the Nazis are the enemy. Zionists are the enemy. Wait till I show you guys Zelensky's quote. The people who are in bed with Nazis, like Ursula von der Leyen and Zelensky, they all crying for Israel as they call for Russian blood. Look at this. You want to see some more extremism from Israel? Which is commonplace. This is extremely commonplace, fam. They're chanting that, fam. I'm not even going to say it. I'm trying to get my tongue to me. This guy is saying the second Nakba is coming. I just had Nicole Mandela. I had Nicole Mandela on, and we were talking about the 75th anniversary of the Nakba, the tragedy of the displacement of countless Palestinian people, many murdered. It was a tragic event that Palestinians will never forget. This very sane individual is shouting that they are going to do another Nakba. Just letting you guys know who the Western media, who Bernie Sanders and many other people are both siding this issue with. Listen to this.
شو يا بيتزا المديك لا لو
הבית שלנו. באים עליי, בית שלנו.
If you in the West who live in a country that financed this apartheid genocidal state and these genocidal people believe that you have the right to tell Palestinians how to resist these sicko psychopaths, you are complicit. You continue to be complicit. The entire Democratic Party continue to be complicit with these Zionists, like Marco says here, sound exactly like the KKK. Go to any Israeli political rally, and essentially a KKK rally, and you guys understand what I say and how I feel about the Zionist people? Not the Jewish people, the Zionist scumbags who falsely misrepresent what Judaism is supposed to be about. And this is coming from, I don't know that shit, I'm not religious, but this comes from the many Jews worldwide, including many in the Middle East, that is openly against the apartheid state of Israel because their faith tells them better than that. So if you are an American, if you are a European, and you think you can tone police, tell Palestinians how they can resist these psychopaths, that's a red line to stand for me. Critical support for the Palestinian people, my friends. I actually want to get to some chats because I know you guys probably leaving a lot of good comments today. I didn't plan on going live today, but this shit is crazy, fam. And I am not happy to see what's going on, man. It's very sad. Like, there's going to be a lot of death and destruction because of this. But my anger is directed at the United States government and the Israeli regime for allowing a situation like this to occur. Because in no scenario, in no reality, is the Palestinian people wrong for pursuing their liberation. If you believe that is the case, you have been there fucking yelling at the slaves before abolition. You be yelling at the Native Americans as they resist their genocide. We have history. We know what the historically correct position is. So are we going to allow history to repeat itself? Because a lot of people seem more than happy to. We didn't get to Bernie soon. I kind of spoiled it, but I love that my friend, big shout out to Joy Micah, she posted this picture I wanted to share. I'm going to get to Bernie soon. Because you're going to see all these progressive managerial class scumbags repeat and double down on Israeli Zionist Democratic Party talking point that somehow the Palestinian people are in the wrong here for fighting for people who did this. The term that everyone is using now is unprovoked. So I might have to tell CJ I'm going to be on a little bit longer than I planned because there's a lot of fucking breakdown. I'll text CJ. Unprovoked. Everyone's saying that this is an unprovoked attack. The Biden administration has a statement where they was condemning the unprovoked attack by Palestine. Does it look like it's unprovoked, my friends? The land grab. This is what people call ethnic cleansing. Yep, Abel Gonzalez. I'm reading the chat today. They like to pretend that map doesn't exist. And then they tell you guys it's unprovoked. We told you guys first at RBN. Unprovoked is the new focus test proven and approved talking point that come from propagandists. And they use it to take advantage of the fact that many people are not educated about the realities of U.S. imperialism. And how can they be? How can people be knowledgeable about the history of every conflict in every country? It's kind of impossible unless you're a nerd. I'm a nerd and I am not an expert at every fucking conflict, right? So they weaponize that and try to trick people into thinking that their geopolitical enemies are somehow acting unhinged. This is not an unprovoked attack. This is a long time coming from Zionists being unhinged psychopaths that have been wanting to wipe out the Palestinian people, as shown here. What is Israel, my friends? I am asking you that question. Israel is not real. Y'all motherfuckers been making shit up. And I will repeat, every single prime minister of Israel has been what? Of European descent, not Middle East. Benjamin Netanyahu is a European, my friends. Israel is a country made of Europeans, Americans, people of mostly Western European descent that is cosplaying being Middle Eastern because some wacky book told them to. I need to actually kind of move on. Let's I did the stream Mr. Israeli. CJ should be joining soon. Like, there's, bro, wait till you guys see the fucking tweets from Bernie Sanders, progressives, and even Dr. Cornel West with an insanely disappointing tweet. I'm trying to wait to see that get here. I may cover it a little bit. And if you guys don't believe in what I'm saying, these people will say, well, I moved to Israel because I have a strong connection to Israel. I got a strong connection to Israel because of whatever religious reasons, right? But shit hits the fan. And you guys see this? Benjamin Netanyahu put out a press conference that warned all his people that we are at war. We need to defend. Oh, yeah, I see people, yeah. Dr. Cornel West with the unexpected both-sided tweet that is getting brutally racial right now. Very, very disappointing. I'm gonna cover that here very soon. And you guys already know what CJ got to say about that. Unbelievably disappointing by Dr. West. But the message from these Zionists are Israel is our homeland. We have a strong connection to Israel. Meanwhile, the second that shit get real, and Benjamin Netanyahu said we're at war, look at all these Zionist cockroaches fleeing. Hey, if Israel is your home, where are you going? Ma'am? They go into their second home in New York, somewhere in California. Some of them going back to England and France because a lot of these colonialists have generational wealth. Where are you going? I thought this was your homeland. How is this your homeland? How is this your homeland? But you motherfuckers don't want to fight for it. You guys see how this is you guys see how this cosplay for them? There's a lot of good reactions. And the media coverage is exactly why I say the United States is the most propagandized country in the world. I've just been watching the appallingly one-sided BBC News coverage of the situation in Palestine. So here's a few notes to the corporate media. Israel is in breach of international law, as I mentioned earlier. Palestinians are fighting to liberate their homeland from 75 years of Israeli oppression and terrorism. None of these things will ever be mentioned in the corporate media, especially this next point. The Israeli military and settlers are the militants, not the Palestinian freedom fighters. Imagine someone burst into your home, violently assaulted your people, your family, and then you defend yourself, and then people call you a terrorist. That's the reality of what it means to be a Palestinian. And many indigenous people that the West has victimized. So you look at these first 3 points. These are things that would never be discussed. Look at number 4. This is what I mentioned earlier. Armed struggle is legitimate under international law. Repeat after me, ladies and gentlemen. If you're facing an armed, violent occupier, armed struggle is legitimate under international law. Israel is out of compliance with international law. Meanwhile, every single Western leader, every single progressive, including Bernie Sanders, is making statements condemning the Palestinian people for doing something that is internationally legal. Unbelievable. The reality that we live in, fam. Unbelievable. Do you guys see the fucking gaslighting that we have to go through as disenfranchised people, as Black people, Palestinians, because we fight our oppressors. We fight the white supremacists, the police state. You know the same police state that trains with the Israeli soldiers? They exchange techniques. The same techniques that they use in Palestine, where they call anyone who protests the state a domestic terrorist. That's the same thing they're doing to black activists who are protesting Cop City right now. That's why we must resist the Israeli regime. They exchange techniques. What they're doing to Cop City, fam, is exactly the same thing they're doing to Palestinians. Let me continue this, man. I got a lot. This is so frustrating, guys. I literally told myself before the stream not to get emotional and then get yelly because I know some of you guys hate that, but this shit is very hard to cover without me getting emotional, fam. Like, for real. Number 5, Israel has been abducting Palestinians for many years, especially when you read the. I may just show you guys just the Israel tab. When you read the disgusting shit that's coming from Democrats and Republicans right now. And people wonder why we strongly disavow the two-party duopoly. Even Bernie Sanders sound like a piece of shit. All of them sound like a piece of shit right now. We need to have a revolution against these psychopaths in our government. Number 5, Israel has been abducting Palestinians for many years. Over 1,000 Palestinians are currently being held in administrative detention in Israeli dungeons. Let me say it for the people both sides in this again. Over 1,000 Palestinians are currently being held in administrative detention in Israeli dungeons. CJ gonna be joining us, so I can't wait to see CJ's take on this. CJ about to come with some fire too, man, because wait till I show you guys these tweets from progressives, man. I gotta kind of get through this, so I'll show you guys this. This is a great tweet from Remy. There are a lot of great people spin and speaking truth to power right now. Not Dr. Cornel West, unfortunately. Not none of the progressives, but the people who actually care about human rights. There is no both sides argument. Only Palestinians live under military occupation. Only Palestinians have homes stolen for illegal Israeli settlements. Only Palestinians are being depossessed. Only Palestinians face apartheid laws. All of this was done by one side, Israel. This is a good friend of the show, Fiorella Isabel. The Palestinian resistance, with little to no support from the international community, has publicly humiliated the illegal occupation of Israel, a Goliath with U.S. funding and mass weapons. In a bleak world, it's about damn time we see good prevail. Free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine. And that's such a fantastic point because this is a giant embarrassment for the Israeli military and intelligence. And despite the horrific violence that Israel has committed against the Palestinian people, despite the insane ethnic cleansing, war crimes, execution of journalists like Shireen Abdul Akleh, the Palestinian people never give up. They never give up. This is their homeland. Their spirits don't falter. Despite that, they still fight back and they still embarrass this army that's propped up. Meanwhile, Israelis are fleeing. You know why? Because Zionists and Israelis, they don't want this shit as bad as Palestinians because they are occupiers. Palestinians with very little international support still fighting along for their right for their land. So it is a good thing. We are absolutely not pacifists here when it comes to resisting our occupiers. I'm going to show you guys an example of what they will never tell you in corporate media. This is from Didra. The Israeli city, well, let me read this one first. Because this example of Israeli propaganda weaponizing shit that people don't know, including stuff like me. I don't know every single detail. So I'm glad I found this tweet. So this is what one person said. A summary of what's going on in Gaza at the moment. This morning, fighters from Gaza carried out an operation that took Israel by surprise, reaching Sderot and taking Israeli hostages amidst a barrage of rocket fire. So we're supposed to feel bad because Palestinians took Israeli hostages and fighting for Sderot, right? But what they won't tell you is that the Israeli city of Sderot was originally named the Palestinian village of Najd, whose Arab inhabitants sheltered Jewish Haganah militants from the British in 1946. The thanks they got was getting ethnically cleansed and expelled to Gaza by the IDF in 1948. So you're going to have all these people that are mourning the loss of Israeli land and cities, the same cities that the Palestinian people lost due to violent ethnic cleansing. And how many of these people that are telling you these stories on CNN, MSNBC, Washington Post, and New York Times are going to tell you the full fucking story? What was the name of the city before Israeli captured it, for example? So this is the Palestinian people doing a good deed for these people, and they got ethnically cleansed by Gaza as a result. So I think we got this one. I think we're gonna get to some world leaders' reaction. I'm gonna show you guys the unhinged reactions from the West. I know exactly who my enemies are. All the same bad actors are at it again, right? So for one, this is Benjamin Netanyahu, and this is why Israelis were fleeing. There's a ton of Israelis caught fleeing the country, a ton of panic. Because they don't really want it. They've been so comfortable with being backed by unlimited United States funds that now that Hamas has brought the fight to them, as they should, these people are panicking and running. But now Benjamin Netanyahu, a war criminal of the war criminals, right? He is the Michael Jordan of Middle Eastern war crimes. Super extreme. So of course, he is taking this situation to essentially call for genocide, where he says there's going to be an unprecedented response on the Palestinian people. And when they say, and this is proven through every time Israel says this, when Israel says there's going to be unprecedented response on the Palestinian people, what he's saying is that he's about to kill a shit ton of women and children. That's what he's saying. And the Western leaders are going to say something like this. They're going to say that Israel has the right to defend themselves. So every single Western leader, including Maxwell Frost, who recently said this, every single person who says this, they're essentially giving the A-OK to the violent Israeli state to kill women, children, and as many Palestinian people as they want in response to this. So let me read a tweet. Since this morning, the state of Israel has been at war. Our first objective is to clear out the hostile forces that infiltrated our territory and restore the security and the quiet to the communities that have been attacked. The second objective, at the same time, is to exact an immense price from the enemy within Gaza Strip as well. And fam, no spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you exactly what that's going to be. Israel about to kill a bunch of women and children. That's what's about to happen. So Benjamin Netanyahu is openly saying we are about to commit some war. And you guys think we've been doing war crimes before? Nigga, we about to commit some war fucking crimes. The likes you guys would never see before. And every single Western leader is going to back that up and justify that. Let me continue with Netanyahu's statement, though. The third objective is to reinforce other fronts so nobody should mistakenly join this war. We are at war. In war, one needs to be level-headed. I call on all citizens of Israel to unite in order to achieve our highest goal, victory in the war. And you're going to hear a lot of Western media outlets and other progressive set Palestine people say this as well. Israel is at war. Now? Now you're at war. Y'all been committing war crimes. Palestine didn't start a war. There's been a one-sided assault on the Palestinian people. Palestine punched the bully one time, and now all of a sudden they're talking about war. This is the bully slamming the smaller child in the locker. He's slamming his head against the locker. He's stomping on his toes, flicking his nose, stealing his lunch money. And then the second the kid hit back, the principal jumps in. Oh my God, why are you guys fighting? Both of you guys suspended. So this gives Netanyahu the green light to commit genocide. But I want you guys to understand the genocide that Benjamin Netanyahu is about to plan out really quickly now is something that Israel has already been committing. They've been doing a slow rolling ethnic cleansing genocide. So the Palestinian people who had enough of that, they had enough of being slowly tortured, slowly stabbed to death, skinned alive. So now the Palestinian people say, instead of being slowly genocided, bring it on. Fucking do this. Let's end this once and for all. Now, once again, this is the fault of the West in Israel for pushing these people so damn far. How long are these people supposed to take their torture? Now, guess who else has something to say about this? Here is Volodymyr Zelensky, a man who also said that he wants to have a Israeli-like model in Ukraine. The Israeli-like model in Ukraine where you can put ethnic Russians and make them live in a genocidal apartheid state while the Azov neo-Nazi battalions slowly ethnically cleanse and get rid of the ethnic Russian people. That is what Zelensky publicly said. Well, I explained what he meant, but he quite literally said he want to follow the Israeli model. So here's Zelensky for the people who can't read this right now. Horrible news from Israel. My condolences go out to everyone who lost relatives or close ones in the terrorist attack. We have faith that order will be restored and terrorists will be defeated. Terrorists should have no place in the world. The person that is literally emboldened the Azov battalion and Banderites in Ukraine that terrorized ethnic Russians that resulted in at least 14,000 ethnic Russians and Eastern Ukrainians being killed by the Ukrainian government before the Russian invasion. Unbelievable. But let me finish the statement. Terror should have no place in the world because it's always a crime, not just against a specific country or this terrorist victim, but against humanity in general. So Palestinians resisting the Zionist regime is a crime against humanity. You guys see, I know who my enemies are. These people are unhinged. He also says anyone who resorts to terror commits a crime against the world. Whoever finances terror is committing a crime against the world. Fam, the United States is the number one financer of terrorism around the world. The number one financer of death and destruction is the United States. It's funding the violent Banderites in Ukraine. Jesus Christ, this statement is so hard to get through. Fam, progressives think he's a good guy. Unbelievable. Like when you write these tweets, he knows he fucking with us. He knows what he's just projecting. I think the ruling class, I think they have a smile on their face. I think they have a great time trolling us with this bullshit. Oh man, this shit is fucking crazy, man. Dude, this is probably something I'm covering almost every fucking day, fam. Like, you gotta know I'm on the foreign policy wing of RBN. This shit is about to be huge, man. I don't know. Chat, let me know what you guys think about to happen. Like, my mind is racing. Like, this is such a huge event that just happened. You have Saudi Arabia, you have Iran, you have Qatar that express support for Palestine against their attack on Israel. What is that going to do to Saudi Arabia and the United States relationships? Guys, there's so much fucking shit that's going to happen because of this. I gotta fucking I need to take a day to wrap my mind around this. This is a reaction stream. I'm just now remembering that, like, Iran, Saudi Arabia, they are on the side of Palestine. Fucking Qatar came out. I'm sure many other Middle Eastern countries are coming out. in favor of Palestine because they all hated Israel. You've seen this at the World Cup. What is it going to do to the U.S. and Saudi Arabia? You have Russia that is fully in support of a peace negotiated deal and for Palestine to have their own independent country. Fam, this is going to be crazy. And if you want to have ongoing coverage of this, make sure you subscribe to RBN because this is just my first stream on this. It's like I just can't. Like there's so much to cover on this. I still haven't got to the world leader statements. I haven't seen the rest of the world leader statement. I'm gonna read Zelensky, von der Leyen, Ursula Leyen, and Biden. Let me continue this. All the details surrounding this terrorist assault must be revealed so that the world knows and hold accountable everyone who supported and helped carry out the attack. All Ukrainian citizens who remain in the rich zone. So I'll finish. Rich zone must carefully obey all orders issued by local security services and remain vigilant. Please be cautious. The Ukrainian Ministry of Affairs and our embassy in Israel are ready to assist in any situation. To support Ukrainians in Israel, we established an operation headquarters. This is bullshit. The last part, every life is valuable. We condemn all forms of terrorism. Every life is valuable, except the generations of Ukrainian men that we are sacrificing in order to have NATO expansion, in order to appease Western oligarchs. So I may be in their club. I need a drink, man. This shit got me screaming today, bro. I had a drink. This shit literally had me screaming today. This shit is bonkers, fam. This shit is Joe Biden. This is Joe Biden's statement right now. This is the guy. This is the statement from the guy that many people, like Zach from the Vanguard, voted for Biden, by the way. Jordan from Status Quo voted for Biden. An insane war criminal that destroyed the black community, destabilized the Middle East, and he's continuing his unhinged legacy, building the Trump border wall, supporting the police by sending COVID relief funds to them, supporting Nazis in Ukraine. So, of course, Brandon is going to have as unhinged of a take as it gets. This is our executive branch. This is the person that Bernie Sanders, AOC, and the squad endorsed. This is Biden's statement. The United States unequivocally condemns the unprovoked attacks. Jesus fucking Christ. You guys see what I'm talking about? Unprovoked? Let me continue. This is fucking ridiculous. The United States unequivocally condemns the unprovoked attacks by Hamas terrorists against Israeli civilians. There was never any justification for terrorism. Jesus Christ. We stand firmly with the government and the people of Israel and extend our condolences for Israeli lives lost in these attacks. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan has spoken to Israeli National Security Advisor, I don't know how to say her name, I don't want to boil it, Tachachi Hanegbi, and we remain in close contact with our Israeli partners. Hurricane Jeffries, another Democratic leader that every single person in the squad voted for. The progressives didn't want to fight in the House because they wanted to support Hakeem Jeffries. This is his statement. My statement on the violent, unprovoked, there it is again. You just had violent Israeli raids on mosque and Palestinian in Gaza. You had bombings of Gaza. You have Gaza that don't have access to clean water in 95% of the locations because of the bombs and the poison that Israeli have done to their people. But Democrats, people that some, like Marianne Williamson, Kyle and Crystal, believe is the lesser of two evil, is repeating without shame the State Department propaganda of unprovoked. You guys see they use the term unprovoked in Ukraine. The unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. Let's ignore the 14,000 plus ethnic Russians that was killed by the fascist Ukrainian government. It was unprovoked. You guys see how they found their new favorite focus group tested propaganda term? Now, every time I see the word unprovoked in the media, I'm assuming they're lying. And that's a strategy because I know everyone Every time you see someone say the word unprovoked and they're a United States politician, just know they are full of shit and they're lying about whatever the fuck they're talking about. So let me read Hakeem Jeffries' statement. He's the leader of the House Democrats. The people who are supposed to be way less chaotic than Matt Gaetz. This is the person, fam, that I am supposed to like more than Matt Gaetz, who also sucks. But you guys see, I don't buy into lesser two evilism. I hate the Democrats the same way we hate the Republicans. Here's Hakeem. I strongly condemn the violent and ghastly attack by the terrorist organization Hamas on the Jewish people in the state of Israel. Meanwhile, Israel shoots Shireen Abdul Akleh, one of the most prominent Palestinian journalists, in the head, raided mosques, assaulted and killed children. No statements like this from Hakeem Jeffries. No, none of this concern. Do you guys see this is hypocritical evil? When you're this hypocritical, it's evil. What's popping, Danny? We didn't get you on the show, my friend. Glenn Ford called it the Black Misleadership class. Absolutely. That's where we get our politics from, my friends. Glenn Ford, Mark Kimberly, John Mubaraka, even Dr. Cornel West, I will 100% admit, had influence on me and my politics. A lot of people like, okay, oh, RBN and Jimmy Dore left. Yes, we agree a lot with Jimmy Dore, but we get our politics from amazing people like Glenn Ford and Black Agenda Report, Mark Kimberly. Those are the people who I wouldn't mind anyone saying that I'm a Glenn Ford leftist, I'm a Mark Kimberly leftist. They're the GOAT. Big shout out to Danny Highfond, been absolutely killing the game recently. Absolutely killing the game, Danny. Anyway, let me read this again from the beginning. I strongly condemn the violent and ghastly attacks by the terrorist organization Hamas on the Jewish people in the state of Israel. The loss of life in Israel as a result of the violent, calculated, and unprovoked attack by Hamas is heartbreaking. America stands firm and unequivocally with Israel. That's exactly what RFK says. Fam, wait till I show you guys the RFK tweet. What's poppin', CJ? Join whenever you're ready, my friend. I went longer than I planned on, but this is gonna be a fun, unplanned handoff show, right? Let's see. I keep getting distracted, but you guys, these statements are the fucking same anyway. The Congress must stand with Israel until the invasion by Hamas has been crushed, and security in southern Israel and throughout the country has been permanently restored. Do I even have to explain to you guys why that's crazy? Do I even have to? I'm literally getting exhausted